So Rick, thanks for doing this again. This is more of a get to know Rick Donlon as he comes into the new CEO role at CCHF. You're not new to CCHF, and I would say you're sort of in the top tier of people who are well known or across the country and have been for a number of years. But CCHF is growing; it's getting a lot younger. There's a lot of people that don't know you, and so I just appreciate these videos to give people a little bit of an opportunity to get to know you. Even I'm learning a few things as we go. But could you just talk, like, when did you become aware of CCHF? Because you've been a part of CCHF since med school, is that right?
Yeah, it's a good question. I know the first time I showed up at a CCHF conference, I'm pretty sure it was 1993. And then if that's correct, then I would have been a third-year resident well into my 4 years of residency. And my partners and I can't remember if all four of us went, but two or three of us went. The conference was in Chicago. It was at a church. I think there were less than 200 people probably. We finished medical school in 1990. We didn't open our first health center to 95. So we were in the planning stages at that point. And somewhere along the line, when we were students or early in residency, someone said, "Do you know about the Christian Community Health Fellowship?" And so that's my first memory, was 1993.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of role has CCHF played in just in your career over the last 25 years or almost 30 years now?
Yeah, it's been huge. I'd do my best Donald Trump impression if I could, but it's been, yeah. Anyway, at that 1993 conference, I met Art Jones, and I had heard about, Dr. Art Jones before. I think Lawndale started in 1987 when I was still a medical student. And so Art sat down with me and just gave me some advice. It probably wasn't more than a 10 or 15-minute conversation, but it was big deal for me, real big deal. I mean, this may not make sense to some of our younger listeners, but like to me, that was like meeting Paul McCartney or Elvis or something like that. He would probably snicker at that. But to be able to, CCHF's always to me been a place where people can connect and meet people who have been a little further down the road than you are, or doing things a little differently, or have new insights. I think another huge part of what happened to us, we got our first health center opened in 95, and we really struggled. And I know that it's not the route for everybody, but we were looking at more sustainable ways to get funded. And I was really the main person at Christ Community who was opposed to the notion of getting more state or federal funding, because I feared entanglement with the government and what that might mean to our Christian mission. And so it was my connection with CCHF people in other parts of the country who had done those sorts of things and could reassure us that you could indeed be a Christian health center and receive additional funding if you chose to go that route. And again, not everybody does it that way, but it was a CCHF community that helped me understand different options and possibilities. And then I don't think I've missed two or three of the conferences in 30 years. And every time I go, I hear something, or I learn something new, or I run into somebody. And of course, it's a two-way thing. There's times when then, after you've been a little further down the road, you can provide assistance and encouragement to people who are new to the movement. So it's from the time I was 29, 30 years old till now, CCHF has been hugely influential.
Yeah. Well, and you've been a big part of that. And I just, on my way out, want to say thank you for being one of those. I'm not a doctor. I've never started a health clinic. I've never worked in a health clinic, but you've been one of those people who've been very transparent, even when you've gone through some difficult things, and have been one of those voices. And you have been for others what Art was for you.
So that's true. Yeah, I love that to be true.